Hey everyone, so as you can see from the title, this is the part 1 of the tutorial where I will be showing how to record a strobe channel onto the fader and then launch it, and then when you push it back it stops strobing. I mean, this question is probably coming up on Facebook or other platforms at least once a week, so I decided to stop it all and show you the two working 100% working methods of making the strobe work on your fader, and I will show you all the tips and tricks to actually make sure that it always works. And this method applies not just to strobe, it applies to any attribute you want to work with, as long as it's as long as there's a range. Okay, so this is part 1. So in this first part, I'm going to show you how to record a strobe channel on the fader, just a strobe channel alone, and by the end of the tutorial, you know how to make it and how to make it 100% working. And I'll show you all the things you need to pay attention to. I'll show you the logic of the software, and I'll show you where the mistakes might be. Okay, without further ado, let's go. So I'm running just a standard Chauvet demo show file. So I copied spot static that playback, from the first page. So playback number 3 from the first page. This is the one that I'm talking about. I'm really sorry for my voice. I'm a little bit. I lost my voice a little bit. And I'm trying to make sure that I cover this topic as soon as I can, because people are still asking the same question. So this is the playback where you have all the spot statics. They look at us, and this is it. So the idea is I want to record a playback where I will be able to control the strobe channel. I will raise it. It's going to be strobing. I'll push it back, and it's going to stop. So how to do it? So first of all, I have to explain to you the logic of our idea. So if you select your fixture, and for example you press like 8, or whether you just select it, okay, and then you go to the beam channel and you touch the strobe channel, you will see that by default it looks into the strobe as an open channel at the top of the range, which is 255. So that's great, it works, but as soon as you want to do the controlling everything on the fader, that's not the right place for the range to stop to be open. So from it, whether you know or you don't know, but I will tell you. So normally when you have a strobe or shatter channel on the fixture, normally you have 2 or 3 stops. The fixture, the channel has to have the shutter open. Normally it's at the bottom of the range, which is going to be close to 0. Then there's going to be maybe in the middle of the channel, and one is going to be at the top. So in my case, by default, with this personality, this is done right at the top. Okay, I will show you what I'm talking about. So let's say if I have anything working, so just so we can use it as a reference, then I'm using the strobe channel, and I'm going to get to, let's say, 214 or 13, something like that. Okay, so let's say you're in 215. Okay, and that is a random slow to fast. Okay, so maybe I'll just make it something like this. So random strobe to fast, and then I'm gonna press record, and I'm gonna record that as a memory. So all I'm recording is just a strobe channel. If you're not sure, open the programmer window, you will see you're recording strobe channel only. Okay, so I have recorded it. It's all good. However, let me show you the settings you need to set in order for this playback, for this fader to start working as on some consoles it's called temp fader, on some consoles it's called mode 2. In our console we just control it as a LTP channel. That's all it is. So we just make it work. So what you need is you need to triple click on your playback, then in the advanced column, advanced tab, you need to make sure it says all channels control LTP. You set it as yes. Okay, so again, this method works across any attribute you want, but in this case it's the I'm using the strobe channel. So you have to set this one to yes. Then you go to the fader and you change fader control HTP to no. You can press enter, so it changes to no. And fader controls LTP, you can double click or you can change it to yes. Okay, so that's it. So this is all you have to do in this scenario. You may think that it's going to work. It will work, but I'll show you where the issues are. So if you open the output window and you open the raw values, you can see right now the spot static is bringing the data into the equation, and it says strobe channel as open is 255. So as soon as I start moving the channel, moving the fader, you're going to see this data will be changing from 255 and it will be going towards the data that is stored here, which is 214 or 211 or whatever the data is. And this is where the issue is. So when we start moving the fader up, nothing is happening. You're going to say, hey, Aziz, it doesn't work. And I'll say, well, patience, you will see that it's working. You can see now that the strobe channel is changing the data. However, it still has not reached the point of where the fixture starts strobing. So we're going up, 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 still not there. It will only reach to the point we need when we're going to be right at the top. So we get there at the top and then it's strobing. Yeah, 211, we're happy, it's working. However, it's not what we expected. What we expected, and I'm sure you're all going to agree, we expected you're going to see a slow strobe, medium strobe, fast strobe, and maybe random strobe, if I recorded that. But that's not what we got. So you're going to say, Aziz, it doesn't work. And I'll say, patience, we're coming there. So if you put the fader down, it stops working. It's perfect. Okay? So there is a reason why this happens. The reason is, in this particular case, I have the strobe which is recorded at 255. So that means as soon as I start raising the fader, it goes from 255 to 214. In reality, what I do need is I need the range to start from the bottom. So the range I'm looking at is at the bottom. So if you select your lights and you will scroll down here in the beams, you're going to see the one that's called shutter open. If you look at shutter open, you can see that the strobe range starts at 005. So you could fix it by pressing shift record. This is how you're doing one of the methods. You shift record, merge, and you're merging it over here. So now, if I start using my encoder, you're going to get your result, the one that you wanted. This is sort of method 1. You push it back and it stops. Again, I'm really sorry, it's not as fast as flashing maybe on your computer because my Mac is a little bit struggling with the visualizer at the full screen here plus the Camtasia recording, so it's quite a lot of information and my Mac is not the latest. So you can see now it's working for you. So this, you could keep it as a method 1 to fix your issue. However, you may say, Aziz, but what, do I need to update every playback I need to do it? I don't want to do it. You know, I just want it just to work. So how to fix this issue? So the problem is, if you select your playback and you press locate, you can still see that your default is at 255, and that's not correct way, because what we want is, we want the range for the strobe in particular to start at the bottom, so at 005. So what do? So in this case, I'll show you the method of fixing this issue will be to record a cue, a special cue. What we're going to do is we're going to select the playback, fixtures. We're going to press beam, look at the strobe, move it all the way down to 005 or press shutter open. After that, you go to the cue store, press record, and record the playback, just with the shutter open channel. After that, while you have this selected, you press Special Queue, and here you press Default Queue, Locate Queue. So now this playback will be giving the data for your default and locate queue for the shutter, and you press Done. After you did this, it's going to show you here it says D and L, which means default and locate. So what that means? That means simple. So when you have your playback, this is the guaranteed method to work, okay? However, let me remove the shutter, strobe. So there is no strobe channel there. However, now, as I've located it, it's all located now. When you launch your playback and you use your fader, you can see it's working. It's all strobing. And you push it back and it stops strobing. That's easy. That's simple as it is. So all I had to do was, as I said, I showed you three things. Either you force record your the shutter information into that playback. That's always working method. So it's useful. It's useful for this method, for this video, and the next tutorial as well. And second method is obviously making the special queue to have the data for the default and locate. And the third method, in order not, so this method works for this particular show file. So this queue store is going to changes applicable for this show file alone. However, if you're using these fixtures all the time, it makes sense to fix the issue, to fix the personality file on a global scale. So in order to do that, you go to Patch window, select your filter down your Maverick MK2 spots, you press Edit Head, then you go to the View Channels, and you're going to find the strobe channel, channel number 8. You look to the right, and you're going to see locate value 255 and the default value 255. What we need is, we need to change these two values. You can double click and you type 005, enter. You need to make default and locate values to be 005, and after that save the fixture. As soon as you do it, it will also update all the libraries here with the correct information, and you don't need to do any special queues for that anymore, because it's going to be your default value and it will always load in the correct place. So after that, you'll have no problems after launching your playback, making the fader to strobe or do whatever you want, push it back, and it's going to stop. That's simple as it is. Thanks for watching, and tune in for the second part of this tutorial where I'll show you another really powerful and useful method that can be applicable to any channels, but in the next tutorial I will show you on the strobe channel again. Thanks, and see you again later. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and press the like button. Thanks.